So the UC renovation has been 10 years of planning, approximately 3 years of construction work. We're planning to have it open by summer of 2025, fully open. It's one of the largest projects we've ever done as a renovation on campus. And really it's the only renovation where we've been entirely focused on students and community. It really is meant to be a building that students have ownership in. So what we're calling the Great Room was previously the Asa Packer Room. When the building was originally constructed, that was the chapel space. It's actually the only space that had been left alone through the years. So our goal in there was really to preserve as much as we could. So the stained glass windows in the Asa Packer Room that Buyer Studios is working on are original to the 1868 building. Not in great condition, had not necessarily been protected through the years from the elements from the outside of the building. But because they are a piece of the original construction, we felt really strongly that we needed to save them and restore them as best we could.
When you talk about stained glass, you have a craft side of it and you have the art side of it. So with Lehigh's windows, since it's a restoration, it's almost both. It's like you have to match the glass. That's like the craft part of it, but you want to do a restoration that is almost invisible. Like we came, we left, and no one noticed. And that's like the art side of it. We invite donors, we invite people to come here to understand what we do here. We want you to see the process from beginning to end. Everything in here is hands-on. And we don't have machines painting anything. We don't have machines cutting glass. I don't think this trade is, besides the technology in it, has changed at all in hundreds of years. So the windows themselves, in this case, arrived in their original wood frames. And I guess it was easier just to pull the whole thing out. So we chopped out the putty bevel here and pulled the panels out. These are panels that have been chopped out of the frames. Each one is labeled so we know where it came from. Now that we have them in the building, we can do paper rubbings of the windows. This will be laid on top of the old window. Take a piece of graphite and rub over it until we get the transfer through. Glass that was missing was marked right here where the other red squiggles are, but this is our template. This is our roadmap to get it back together again. Once we have all the rubbings done, we will take the windows and put them in a water bath. All the old lead is taken apart in the water. We'll clean the glass at the same time and lay it out. Once we're done, all the water goes through filters and any lead will get recycled. So this window we started restoration on it, but we will start replacing these pieces and anything else we feel that is too far gone. And we were using a clear restoration glass for these replacement pieces, and we're using the water slides. It's a sheet of paper printed with an ink that we can fire onto glass. Once we have it on there, then we can do any background matting on it to diffuse or distress the pieces to make them look older than they actually are. Once all of our glass repairs are complete, then we'll re-lead the windows. All joints will be soldered on both sides of the window. Once that process is complete and it comes out of the proper size, then we will waterproof the windows with a vegetable oil glazing compound. When that step is complete, then we will reinforce the windows with galvanized steel flat bars. They will be soldered directly onto the panels to give strength to the windows, and the windows will be final cleaned. So that's pretty much in a nutshell the process of the window restoration. This is going to be an amazing piece when we're done with this.
I think what we're always trying to accomplish, especially with spaces like the University Center, is to create a memory sense. So something where you're in an environment and there's something about it that just feels warm and comfortable. It sounds strange to talk about a stained glass window in that way, but I think the connotation that brings and the history that it imparts upon you creates a memory, and hopefully that's a good memory.